Hello everyone, Siege Link here, and I'm here with my first Hearts of Iron 4 gameplay. I did a test video of this, and it worked. And I recently bought it on the massive Steam sale, which is really good for my channel because now I have something else to play on here. So we're going to do a new game, 1936. Quite obviously, this is kind of pointless, other than if you just want to get things over with, I guess. We could play as any of the majors, but I'm actually going to play as a minor, and the reasoning for this is that if you play as any of the allies, you're basically can't do anything in this game, unless you get like lucky and the AI does something stupid, which is possible. The faction leaders as well is annoying because trying to get people onto the faction can be tough. So I was thinking of possibly playing as Italy or possibly Japan. But I'm just going to go for a minor country. And I was looking around. In my opinion, the three most powerful minor factions are Romania, Yugoslavia, and Brazil. I did a campaign with Brazil and Romania, both of which are going very well. Brazil, not so much because I took over Bolivia, and I'm trying to take over Chile, but I got surrounded. I looked at just before I started this, I wanted to see the resources Yugoslavia had, and they had a very, very good start when it came to resources. So we're going to be doing them. And we're going to be going communist, because when Italy claims territory, we want the Axis to be at war with the Allies and the Comintern, because then they'll just get crushed. Hopefully. Turned AI historical focuses off without realizing it. But it should be fine. So we start off the game with 22 guys. Start with 3 research slots. The way you want to play Hearts of Iron 4 when you first start the game, similar to how Zerg players want to play. Just play very greedy. Don't get anything along the lines of army doctrine or anything. Probably just butchered that sentence. Just get only stuff that's going to help you little by little, like research time. So we start off with 3 military factories, 1 naval dockyard, and 14 civilian factories. So right off the bat, we're going to want to build some military factories. We're not going to convert that many, or if any, civilian factories, because we're really going to need those to export resources. We have a massive amount of aluminium and chromium, but we have, as you see, 0 of all this. But synthetic oil refineries gives us both oil and rubber, which I didn't realize. Or maybe it's just one of the further ones down. Doesn't actually say it. I remember it saying that somewhere. Maybe it's here. Yeah, look. +7 oil and +4 rubber. So if we build, like, say, 2 of those, then we're only going to need tungsten and steel, which will put us in a good position. It's lagging a bit. Set national focus. We'll go right for political effort. Might as well do that, even though we can't do it for anything. And let's start the game off. 5 speed, of course. Probably going to have lag with this game because the game itself does have a bit of lag. Yeah, as you can see, the zoom is very laggy. I'll also start out with a pretty decent navy. So this first episode is going to be a whole lot of nothing, to say the least. Much to do about nothing. Wait, what? What? Okay, for a second I thought my units were inside Albania. But nope. So let's say, I doubt we have military access with them. I have only about, I think, like 35 hours on this game, so I'm definitely not that good. But I do find it better to use manual rather than AI controls. You see, I say that as I try to put a front line down. That's simply because okay, now I have no idea how to stop this order. Yeah. The reason I do that with just the front line is simply because of the way that units work. If you put on like a front line, they'll just all spread out in a good order, so you don't have to manually spread them out, which takes a long time, so it can definitely be annoying. So I just do that to make the front line, and then if they're not on the front line the way I would want them to be, then I can just adjust that myself. But it takes a lot less adjusting. Because we're not going to be at war anytime soon, let's exercise my guys. Okay, so right off the bat, we're going to need some military factories. Let's maybe get some industry up in low places. Let's go one more civilian factory for the heck of it. Okay, let's start making friends with some Soviets. Okay, I have 5 available, so that's quite a bit. Bless me. Wouldn't really say I would need more than 5 for now. Alright, so now I have 3 left. Yeah. Later on I'm definitely going to need some more civilians. Civilian factories. Yeah, you see the lag here is pretty bad because it's on 5 speed and it's going like 2-3 speed. If I could figure out how to cut with just the YouTube editing software, I would be just speeding through this, but nope, because YouTube for some reason does not allow you to upload edited videos. They're in 2 different sections and you can't move them to each section. And there's no tutorial video showing how it could be possible, so well, yeah. I'm probably just gonna save this first episode just showing people like the basics, and just probably just gonna make this episode like long, like probably up until like the Spanish Civil War maybe, or maybe a bit past, and just say first episode, much to do about nothing. For the record, I didn't actually like, in terms of, I feel like I'm about to say Shakespeare, but that's not actually Shakespeare. I get a lot of like famous people like back in the day mixed up, like Shakespeare, Bob Ross, and all that. So don't get mad at me. I barely even know their names, but I'm pretty sure it's Shakespeare who did the play Much to Do About Nothing. And I watched a movie and I think read a book in my English class for that play. So that's how I know it. And it's just kind of an interesting phrase to use. It's really not doing much. It's much to do about nothing. What the heck? Okay, hold on. Okay, he's here. Move you down. I want at least a nice looking border. Just see those guys doing push-ups. Now, once I start out, I probably want to invade either Greece or Romania. I'm still debating which one of those. Romania will allow me to get a small amount of steel and a massive amount of oil, so I don't actually really have to get oil refineries or synthetic oil production. But this has a lot more steel, has a lot more chromium and aluminium, which I don't need, but also has a max amount of tungsten. But it's also annoying to take. Another big advantage is being on the border with the Soviet Union. Also, we're not neighboring the factions, so that's something they might not... the reason they might not want to join us. It's going to be a debate. How many factories do they have? Or, like, factory slots? 2, 6, 10, 16, 20. But that's a lot for Greece. 2, 4, 8, 2, 6, 8, 12, 16, 18, 20, 24, 30, 32, 34, I think. I'm pretty sure I didn't count this one. That's a lot for Romania, and that's going to be plenty for me to build enough civilian factories to export the other resources I'm going to need. Also, it's going to help my relationships with the Soviet Union. And in terms of land, it's going to be a better chunk of land for me personally. Trying to deal with all the naval invasions in Greece is just annoying. So, I'll probably go for Yugoslavia, even though Greece has a massive amount of resources. They probably have a better start than Yugoslavia when it comes to resources. Like I said, those naval invasions are really annoying. But they're also annoying in Yugoslavia, especially since Italy already starts with control of a province, apparently. Zara? I'm not sure how else you would pronounce that. Now, I doubt I can train any units yet. Let's at least see what our units look like. Ooh. Wow, already start with engineering company and support artillery. I guess I did actually export those resources, so might be able to train a few of these units. Okay, the mountain division's got nothing. Horse division's got nothing. Tank division's got one tank and a bunch of infantry. What is this? I've definitely never seen a tank division like this. Let's pick a random location. Now, one plane here, one plane here. So the Air Force isn't too bad. Let's just look at my things that I can choose from. So right as it starts, I want to go for that one. Okay, so I'm going to want to go for this one, then this one, then this one. Industry is super important early game, but I would say it's less as important as getting in a faction. Because if you wait, depending on what country you are, it's going to take ages to get enough communism, fascism, or democratic party ideology into your country. And I almost derped there because I don't know exactly how to say Democrat plural. Or democracy or something. I was about to say that, it just sounded weird. I'm just like, wait, what am I saying? Another power that's very powerful is Sweden, because of how many resources they have. They have an absurd amount of steel. A little bit of aluminium down here. Massive amount of tungsten and chromium. So it's only going to be oil and rubber that are going to be your problems. Both of which you can get from the synthetic refineries. So if you're playing as Sweden at the start of the campaign, you just go right for a synthetic refinery, you're going to be in a very good position. I'd say one of the big problems is starting democratic, just because the allies are a hard start in general. That's a first. Every single time I've seen the Germans, they always go for right this. Okay. The reason I want to go for a political effort right off the bat is so you can get all of your stuff, like the communist support, the industry stuff, very quickly. In fact, 150, I'll be at 75. I could delay it, and I think I will. I'll delay it so I can get my industry up very quickly. Ooh. Do I get political power in the next one, or is it the one after? I get Democrat support minus. Yeah, I can delay that in exchange for getting industry research quicker, which will be big. I'd say right after this I'll go for this, just because it's less research time. I could also go for this, which is production, and then I could go for this, which increases the conversion bonus, max factories and state, and all that good stuff. I wouldn't really say there's a need. For minor nations, I like going for trade interception. So we got one destroyer, one cruiser, no heavy cruiser, no battle cruiser, no battleships, no carriers. We got submarines. We don't have transports, which we're definitely going to need later on. We're going down the doctrine I would want anyways. We got the first level anti-tank. I kind of want to go down heavy tank. rather than light tank, because light tanks are better in terms of speed, but I've never really found that like a big deal. Like max speed, 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers. Like that's not that big. The other big advantage is the cost: 1 oil, 2 steel, compared to 3 steel, 1 oil, and 3 chromium. But in truth, with how much chromium we have, it's only in a 1 steel extra bonus, which is worth it. We don't have motorized yet, which we're going to need to research everything down there. You have mountain troops, no marines, no paratroopers. This is going to cost 180 days. Yeah, we're not in a rush. I would say let's just go research that, and research the resources, the second level, and then start focusing on this stuff. Probably we'll go right for motorized and either infantry equipment 2, because it just takes 1 more steel, or we'll go right for the heavy tanks. This is one of the downsides of Hearts of Iron 4, is that for many years it's just a waiting game. But at the same time, if you do it like in 1939, it kicks off so quickly it's hard to kind of comprehend. Not only that, but it's good just waiting, because you'll slowly but surely do things better than the AI would. Because the AI is really dumb in this game. Oh, do I have export focus? Yeah, I do. What I find weird is that I have limited when I started as Germany, I think, but I had export, which is the better version, right at the start, which I found really weird, with like all the minor nations. Yeah, so we just don't have any resources, apparently. And I only have 3 civilian factories left. And once I get my synthetic oil refineries up, I'm gonna save like 2 because of the rubber and oil. But I'm gonna need it for tungsten and steel still. I'm probably gonna need more than this. I'm also probably going to want a naval dockyard at some time. And do I have any forts? No forts. Do you have any land forts? Nope. I'm going to want both versus Italy. Probably land forts. I'm honestly not sure if land and sea forts do anything if you have no units in them. I would hope they do, because otherwise it would be really, really annoying and kind of pointless, at least for the sea ones. I actually tried Ethiopia out, and I almost survived. And what I mean by survived is survived longer than Republic in Spain, believe it or not. And this is around the time I had 24 hours into the game. And the reasoning for that was that I tried a strategy of just try to hold and slowly retreat through the north and just crush the south. However, it doesn't actually work because they have these 2 forts. Unlike up here, which they have 1 fort, but they have many more soldiers. Because the big problem that you have at the start is that Italy just has more troops. If you had like 2 more troops at the start, or even just 1, it would be much, much easier, because you could encircle a few. Like, if you just like encircle like 3 Italian divisions, which I have done and almost killed them. Like, if I killed those Italian divisions, I would have probably held on. And maybe even kicked them out. Like, I didn't even believe it myself that I was almost surviving as long as Republican Spain. Like, they held on for a lot longer than they should have. Like, if they capitulated around the normal time, they would have capitulated, like, 2 months after me. Like, that's how long I held on. I think Civil War is coming up. What I've always found interesting is how, like, not only is there a perfect cut here of 42, 41, 17, and it looks perfect, but it's not. The Democrats have this tiny bit more. They're split in two with 100% of one side being fascist. About 25% of one side being Democratic, however 75% of the other being communist. Which essentially mean that these parts pre-war would be reversed, but they're not, which is strange. Okay, I'm about to get enough political power to get my communism up. Also, Hungary has a lot of resources as well. They have a massive amount of aluminium, steel, and one oil. So pretty much as Romania, they were like a big target because of all that aluminium, because you have 6 and you need a lot later on in the game. This is just how it's going to be, just a waiting game forever. Now the question is, do I want to go for limited export? Or limited conscription. Exports over here. I probably do. But could I delay it? That's the question. Because getting something along the lines of this is big. National unity is not really that big a deal. Let me just look through my guys. I haven't really seen that much in terms of recovery rate, but I also haven't in terms of defense that much either. Probably would go with recovery rate. Yeah, usually I don't like doing convoy raiding unless it's with naval bombers. That's usually how I deal with convoy raiding. I remember when I was playing as Italy, I had a decent navy. However, I was losing most of the naval battles, but I was winning like the core, like big ones. Actually, I think this might have been with Germany. It was either with Germany or Italy. I was like losing a lot of the naval battles, but I was sinking like a few hundred convoys a day with just naval bombers, rather than putting my guys on convoy rating. I put them on patrol instead. So I was just like, okay, yeah, you're winning most of these battles compared to me, but I'm sinking so much of your stuff. So I knew it was taking like a really big toll on them. Let's get an engineering company for my mountaineers. West Wall, Great Purge. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Or at least the second word. Mare Nostrum. You can tell it's not nostril. I don't know the exact date of the Civil War, but I know it's coming up. Political effort. Army innovation. Okay, there's industrial effort. Let's go with collective ethos. Get rid of this Democratic Party, and then after, get some more communism going. A lot of things that people don't realize when they think about World War II is that people say, you know, you see videos like on YouTube about like these lists of ways that Hitler could have won World War II. I mean, it's more so, I mean, someone just needs to make a list of the the things that needed to go right to win. Because even when America joined the war, they were in dire straits. Because, and the big factor of that was that Germany and the Soviet Union had a treaty. If they didn't have a treaty, then it would be a whole different story. But eventually the Allies managed to force Germany to break that rule, or to break the treaty, because they really needed the oil. And there's a lot of oil down in the Caucasus oil fields. And I definitely pronounced that wrong. Caucasus, I think. Because this is the entire area. And the Germans really had the Soviets where they wanted them. They just got encircled at Stalingrad. And if that didn't happen, they probably would have just capitulated the Soviet Union. And if that was the case, then there's no way the Allies would have won. Like, everything had to go right for the Allies and the Comintern for Germany to actually fail, especially for the massacre, the suicide mission that was D-Day to succeed. Like, really, that was, you're just walking into pretty much a meat grinder. Like, you're just, I mean, it was really a big miracle that did as well as it was planning too. I really just want the Civil War to kick off so I can end it there. Especially since I want to see if my computer can handle the pop-ups in this game with a recording software on as well. Because as you can see, the time's, it's lagging so hard, the time is going by very slowly, and this is on 5 speed. Like, that's really saying something. It's lagging pretty bad, but the game lags by itself, so I probably could get used to it. It's not going to be that entertaining, but I could probably live through it. What I've never really understood is why the Soviet Union waits so long to invite Xinjiang to the Comintern when they're already 100% communist. start improving relationships with them. Now with when it comes to war, we need world tension at 50%, currently 0. And this is due to not aligned. So pretty much if you can get into a faction like the Comintern, you can declare war on anyone, and that's like the big factor. That's why you really want to get into a faction very quickly, is because you can just declare war on people and expand before the actual World War II kicks off. I think it might be, I'm pretty sure it's not 1937. It might be. It's taken a long time. I feel like I remember it being in May. I only played this game a few times, so don't get me wrong. So don't try to snap on me for not knowing the exact date of Spanish Civil War in this game. It's just a waiting game that will take forever. Well, the Civil War is not kicking off, so I think I might just end it here. And now that I think about it, I can actually just play this, and then around the time like something important kicks off, like joining the Comintern, I could just stop playing and then start recording. So I can skip past that way. So let's save it. Yugoslavia. First YouTube game. Alright. See you guys in the next video.